Welcome, everybody. Very excited to have you all here for our, I think it's our 11th or 12th annual meeting, which is really exciting. So I want to thank most of all a whole lot of people because this meeting is organized on a completely volunteer-only basis. We have no funding for this meeting. We just basically, a lot of people throw in a lot of time and energy. So I really want to thank a whole bunch of people who organized, who donated their time, donated money, and got all of this done to have all the events, to have snacks, to have food, and have events going on. So there is this crew of mine that I have now who I just rely on endlessly, and they're just incredible. So Carrie Heron, Brandy Boyd, Robin Hagan, Lindsay Garcia from the New Foundation. Just want to thank all of you guys for helping get this organized. I want to really thank Gaina, who's my assistant. She shared amongst about 11 of us faculty and still seems to have time for every single person, which is incredible. Not only did she help the planning, she actually managed to get Starbucks to donate all the coffee for free today, and also to Terry, who's incredibly helpful getting everything ready. And she actually went and picked all the coffee up. So Terry is always a huge help in all of these events. We're doing something different this year, which is really exciting. So for the first time ever, we have a young adults group who are meeting together across from here, just getting to know one another and just basically hanging out. There's music, there's food, there's events. There's a bunch of young adults, both male and female. If there are any of you in here who'd like to take part also, it's completely no stress. Just go hang out. Feel free to join up with them. Dr. Ingrid Leckleider and our great new colleague, Danessa Mayo, who's a postdoc on our study, are both going to be there. Two wonderful clinicians, just to sort of be there to help facilitate what's going on. I want to thank them enormously. And Christina Buckholtz and Ariel Pollack, who are two extraordinary young women who have 22Q, are in there as well, and you'll hear from Christina later on, and maybe Ariel as well. So this idea is based on something with the wonderful name of YEEP, which is the Young Experts by Experience group, which started in Dublin, and my friend Anya Lawler, who's an extraordinary young lady with 22Q, and her mom, Ann Lawler, have got this going. It's been incredible. So we're going to, hopefully that's going to keep rolling after today, so these young folks are going to have a community to meet with one another. I also want to thank my incredible lab team for all of their work today, getting organized and helping and getting everything set up, and not just today, but weeks and weeks up to this, including our incredible interns who come and work in our lab for free, and volunteers, and they're running the kids camp today. And on the topic of kids camp, if you have a young child who's in the kid camp, they will have a number, and you have that number too. So they have a number on their little name tag. If your child needs your help, what we'll do is someone from the kids camp will just come in and hold that number up. Okay, so we don't have to disturb the meeting. So if you see someone holding up a number, and that number is the number that your kid has, then we'd like you to go out there in the back, and they'll just take you over to the kids camp and deal with whatever needs to be dealt with. As you can see, we're recording all of our talks today. Thank you for Nick for taking another day out of his weekend to help us out here. Nick is our great new assistant who works with Patrick, our video producer. Nick is recording everything, and Nick and Patrick will edit all of this, and it'll be up on our website fairly soon where everything else is. I'll show you that in a moment. And so it will be on our 22Q Center website, which is the center you see. Our website is up here. And if you haven't updated your current contact information outside, please make sure we have your current updated information, because we want to make you aware of all the events that are happening here and beyond here. And we also have our Twitter feed. On that topic, I'm going to take a picture for the Twitter feed. So the Twitter feed has to be fed. Okay. Anyone got a cue in here to hold up? Hold those cues up. No, they're outside. Okay, you'll wave at me. Yay. There we go. Thank you. So we do have our Twitter feed, and we like to get information out about what we're doing, what other people are doing, things that might be useful. And that you can actually find down the bottom here somewhere. It's over to the right-hand side. Things keep moving on our webpage because they redesign them. There it is. That leads to our Twitter feed if you're a Twitter follower. all of the communications that we would like you to have with us should go through this one single email address that we have. It's secure, it's shared by all of us, it's on all of our web pages. It's the letters HS for Health System -22q at ucdavis.edu. Pretty simple, HS for Health System -22q at UC Davis. All our communications through there, and that will allow us, everybody will see the team and be able to share those emails. I did invite Darrell Steinberg, who's the mayor-elect of Sacramento, who's a real incredible champion of mental health in the state. And when he got turned out of the Senate, he came back here. He's actually an honorary member of our psychiatry faculty. Some of you in this room came to meet with him. We had an incredibly great dinner one evening with him and explained what having an adult child with 22q was like. He was very moved by that experience. We're hoping to keep that discussion going. He couldn't make it today, but he sends his best wishes to everybody. So, couple of updates. I'm trying to get this done nice and early so we have padded time. We have lots to do today, and I am a fairly strict stickler for staying on time because I want us to be on time so that the people towards the end of the program do not get shortchanged. And so I'll be keeping our speakers on time. And so if I do have to stand up and cut off our discussions at some point, sorry about that, but we do want everything to happen. And we especially want to hear from our young adults at the end. So because we've got a lot going on, I'm going to try to stick to this agenda and keep it pretty quick. I have a couple updates for you. We have actually a brand new grad that's just barely a year into its recruitment, and we are studying young adults, teens and young adults 12 to 18 years of age with 22q, and this is our sort of completely new work that was influenced and really changed by all of our discussions with you guys. Our whole direction of research has been influenced by what we learned from all of you. And I'm actually not going to talk about our research today. We have too many much more interesting, exciting things to hear about. But we'll be talking about that sometime soon. The video game intervention that you've heard me talk about forever is really moving now. You actually see here, there's a little video on our webpage about the story that we did. We have a prototype of the video game. The full patent is actually going through the patent application process. We have a very small new round of funding, only $50,000, to build the next little piece of our active compound. I like to think about it as a digital drug in place of a pharmacological drug, and maybe want something that will get used with some medications. But we're trying to build that right now. And in the second half of the year, we'll be testing. So we will be looking from some young folks to come in the second half of the year. We'll be in contact with you if you have a child in appropriately the right age. And actually, the Minds Behind the Mind, which is this wonderful series that we have, where experts from the Mind Institute talk to the community about things that we're doing. I will be talking about this work on Wednesday, January 25th, between 5:30 and 7, with my colleague Peter Mundy, who does really interesting work on virtual reality and autism treatments, moving towards treatments using technology for those kind of things. So I'm going to be pitching to investors sometime soon, because we really are starting a company. We want to build this. So if you know people who might be serious investors in this topic, please let me know. But I have one slightly more tractable request. In terms of pitching, it's very useful to tell stories about real people and their real challenges that we're trying to resolve with this. And so I've had some really interesting stories told to me over the years about kids who have 22q and their strange, unusual understandings of space and time and numbers, which really show us that they think about things very, very differently. I'll give you two very quick examples, because I'd like you to send me more, okay, if your kids have ever said anything like this. So one adult told me that his son, who was about 10, I think, he asked his son, who is closer to me in age? This is what the father was saying. Who's closer to me in age, you or your brother? His brother was about a year or two younger than him. And he did not know the answer to that question. He couldn't think that one through. So that's a very different understanding of space and spatial relationships and numerical relationships. Another person told me about their child. They asked them, would you rather wait 5 minutes or 50 minutes for an ice cream? And they didn't know how to answer that question. And so she asked, well, do you know which number is bigger, 5 or 50? And her daughter said, yes, I do know. So, do you know what it feels like to wait 50 minutes rather than 5 minutes? She said, no, I have no idea. Other people have told me that their kids have been standing next to clocks and somebody mentioned something about clocks and they said, I didn't know that was anything to do with time. So if you have any stories about like that you have experienced in your life, please send them to me through that email address, which is all over our webpage, HS22Q. I'd like to use these stories to personalize these pitches so we can get those things across. I want to quickly talk about one other thing. So on our webpage here, we also have our 22Q Healthy Minds Clinic. Oh, now this is a differently structured web page, so it's right here. Every time you do it, it looks different. So this is our 22Q Healthy Minds Clinic. This is for the clinical assessments that we do from basically right now, babies to about 14-year-olds, and we can see some people a little bit older, but we can't do the full neuropsychological assessment. We can often get insurance. We're trying to write a letter of medical necessity so that your insurance company won't complain about it too much and we'll actually get the referral done. All of that information is on our webpage here, and there's even a PDF which tells you how to get a lot of these things done. We're going to update this a good deal soon, but this is just something you should know about, that alongside our research we really do have our clinic and we're trying to really cover as much capacity as we can. Finally, everything that we do, and this is our team, and Kathy's here today. You want to wave, Kathy? Many of you know Kathy Angusterian, my wonderful colleague here. Our wonderful psychologist, Dr. Inga Gleitleiter, many of you have met. She's over there actually helping to facilitate the young adult group. That's me. I don't do anything, just pull this together because I'm not a clinician. No, really, I don't, because I have no clinical capabilities. And then our wonderful child and adolescent psychiatrist, Paula Waddell, who's part of our team. But most of what we did, everything we did that we learned about here was because of our donations. And so if you are able to make a donation, one way you can do it is to go online on this page here. There is a donor form, and there are actually some already out there in front. And you can just make it out. You actually make it out to UC Foundation, not to me or to the Mind Institute. And then you can say right here, you can pick Chromosome 22Q, and you can say more about what it is that you want to have covered, and we will use your money for that direction. Okay, so that's a lot. And if you donate today, you'll get bracelets from the local organization, these cool red bracelets. And I don't have one on right now, sorry. So the last 5 minutes, I wanted to hand over to Steve Reuter. Steve is part of our incredible Center for Excellence in Developmental Disabilities, and he's actually our transition expert on that team, and we're going to be talking a lot about transition today. So, and he's going to be here all afternoon, available to chat with you if you want to chat with him. So let me just hand over briefly to Steve. And thank you so much for coming, Steve. You can hold that maybe.
Hi, I've had the pleasure of meeting with a few people this morning as we were, people were walking in. As Tony said, my name is Steve Reuter from the Center for Excellence in Developmental Disabilities. And one of the things that I do is Terry, who's in the back, thank you for raising your hand, Terry. Terry and I staff the Resource Center. The Resource Center has, of course, resources regarding specific diagnoses, but we have a lot of resources regarding things that happen at different points of development. We have things about education as people get older. In my area, which is transition, we have information about services and supports that are available. One of the things that I know as I meet with families that is so difficult about having a child with a disability is the fact that our service system is not very transparent. And knowing what to ask for, what you're eligible for, those kinds of things is very difficult to find out. And so Terry, myself, and the other people at the SED act as navigators through that system. So I would encourage you to, if as you have time today, introduce yourself. Terry and I will both be here throughout the day. Take our cards. And the other thing I just want to mention, last thing, is the fact that many of the workshops that we do here at the Mind Institute are videotaped, as today. And those workshops can be viewed online no matter which state or where you're at. And if you go to the Mind Institute's website, there's a portion that says videos, and then my recommendation is you should go video by topic. And that's one of the best ways to do that. But again, if you contact me today, or if you take Terry's card and you email us throughout, later on, we will absolutely guide you through that system. Thank you.